All right. Okay, here we go. I'm going to count it down, and let's do a show. It begins in 3, 2, 1.
Horde side.
You're listening to The Instance.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to The Instance. This is The Instance, episode 397. Today is Friday, January 16th, 2015. I'm Scott Johnson, joined by Patrick Beja of France. Hello, Patrick.
That is where I am from. You
Yes.
are factually correct.
Yeah, I think I've got the MO, the 411 on where you're from.
Also, Scott. They call him Scott Factually Correct Johnson.
Hey, that was my wrestling name in high school. Speaking of which, it's Dills over there. Dills, who was also his wrestling name in high school, all the way from beautiful San Francisco, California.
Yeah, the France of America, we
Right.
call it.
That's what I'm saying. Terpster's not here. He has a brand new baby. Her name is Rosie. She was 7-something pounds plus some odd ounces. Beautiful.
I'm surprised it's not Jaina. How is it not Jaina?
Jaina Terpster. I don't know. Like Turpin, I guess is right. She's gorgeous, and I don't think it's because of him. I think his wife added all the stuff.
He had almost nothing to do with it.
Yeah, a couple of quick humpers, and that was all he put into that business. But
I really want to congratulate my European brother on his newborn baby, but I think if he was here, he would also, like me, bemoan the fact that he's prioritizing things over the instance. I mean, putting the needs of his baby in front of the podcast is a little bit irresponsible. So
I kind of agree. What a selfish act, brazen selfish act on the part of Terpster. I'm kind of blown away by it.
Yeah. I mean, the tadpole needs love and affection as well.
Right. Who's going to change their diapers? He's doing well, though. Everybody's doing well. Mother and daughter are very healthy and happy. Terpster seems to be in sort of fatherhood heaven. I don't know how much sleep he's getting, but he's taken a few weeks off. So we'll likely, he said a minute ago on a text that he will likely be here next week. So we'll look forward to that and some of his stories. I'm guessing he's had either a bunch more WoW time because he's kind of on maternity helper leave sort of thing, or he's had no WoW time. And I honestly, it's a 50-50 toss-up. I don't know which it will be. For me, I played a little more video games with my first daughter because there was a lot of late nights where she's just up and in my lap and can't sleep, and I would just kind of rock her and play like some console game.
Essentially, your job is to just also be up.
Yeah.
Right?
Be up, with her. And so if that's the case, he may actually have more game time. I don't know. Although holding the baby and trying to, WoW's pretty passive. You can.
That's true. You can just sit there fishing or something.
Yeah, no big deal.
Depends what you're doing. Yeah, if you're fishing, it's okay. If you're
some
doing
fast
arena, you might have, if you're playing arena, you might end up with a baby on the floor.
Yeah, your teammates may be none pleased. Well, hey, we're here to talk about WoW. We got some stuff to talk about. Before we do, though, a quick mention that you do want to stay till the end of the show. If some of you felt like checking out, I'm going to get out early. Don't, because today, both live and then, of course, on the podcast, we will announce the big winner of the signed copy of the collector's edition of the game, of Warlords of Draenor. It's a full collector's edition signed by every single member of the World of Warcraft team, both community, PR, and development, everyone.
Now, what about people who just skip to the end?
They are.
We have some sort of security in place to stop them from finding out who the winner is.
They'll be their phones or devices or whatever they're listening to will shock them.
They will explode.
Yeah, will shock them like Cliff Clavin in that Cheers episode. So watch out.
All right, no cheating, everybody. No cheating. You got to listen to the whole thing.
Yeah, it's gonna be exciting though. I'm glad we were able to run that contest and give that to some lucky winner. And it was completely randomly chosen. We ended up with the Warcraft account on Twitter retweeted it, so we ended up with just a huge number. I want to say 12,000 entries.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Wow.
So picking a random was an interesting prospect. I had to basically
roll 1 to 12,000.
Kind of. I took one of those random number generator sites and I said, all right, what's the range? And I said 1 to whatever the 12 point whatever thousand it was, and then it would pick a number in that range at random for me, and then I just have to go in the spreadsheet, find which row they were on, and they won. And this guy's a real lucky dude. It's a dude's name, so I assume it's a dude.
Okay. Spoiler.
Spoiler. It's a dude. We're already halfway there.
Oh man,
he's a dude.
All right, all the women just turned the show off, so now it's just us dudes here.
I know, right? It's a dude fest.
We could totally be candid, right?
So what did everybody? So we raided last night. You and I, and we raided. This is my second time through there, or second time in High Mall. Your third, I think. I missed one because my back blew out the other day.
Yeah, but you didn't miss much. I mean, we basically at this point we're just getting into the swing of things as a raid team.
Mm-hmm.
So our raid team is very casual, as it were, casual but wants to kill stuff, right?
Yeah.
Casual with progression
and wiener jokes. They like those.
And wiener booby jokes.
Booby jokes, sure. They're into that.
But yeah, and butt jokes. Don't forget the butt.
Oh yeah, no. Yeah, the butt. That's right.
Yeah,
the butt's important here.
But no. So last week we killed the first two bosses pretty quickly and easily, and then the next in line is a little bit tough. It's a big jump up, I think, in difficulty.
Tectus, huge pain in the ass. That thing.
It's just a dance. You just got to keep moving the whole time, essentially, and just haven't quite gotten the dance down yet, but we'll get there. Yeah,
after watching some videos after the raid, I should have watched them right before the raid, but
probably the best time to watch them before the raid.
It's so annoying because in our final attempt, I'm thinking, all right, focus, Scott. We got this. I'm probably not going to get marked anyway. This will be fine. And then I immediately get marked, and I hesitate, and then I run the way I'm supposed to. But that big jutting freaking turd rock hit me so hard, I was dead. I was dead within seconds of that raid starting, or that pull. Anyway, it sucked. That guy's hard. I can see. I really do like the challenges in this raid, though. I like what the mechanics are. I like how they're working. And
it seems to me that the difficulty is there just even in normal. And this is early on in the raid cycle. I'm assuming that at some point there will be nerfs as things. The next raid comes out. They nerf the old one. That's kind of how it works.
Right.
But I do like that every fight feels different than the fight before it. There doesn't seem to be any fights that are just kind of standard. Okay, just don't stand in the fire, kill the ad when it comes out. Like there seems to be some sort of trick to every single one.
Yeah.
And I really like the style of the encounters, the way everything looks inside. The one thing I will say though, is if we could please fix the room on Tectus so that it doesn't close in on us immediately and make it impossible to put your camera somewhere.
Oh no, you don't even know what you're doing. Yeah, that's a bad. Well, I mean, it's a result of just the nature of third-person camera work, but it just sucks.
Well, it's just the room is bigger, and then when the fight starts, suddenly the room gets smaller, and we're kind of backed up already, and then and I have my camera way back. I don't know about you guys, but I go.
Yeah, I go pretty far back.
I'm pretty far away.
Pretty far back, and then as soon as that closes in, there's like 3 fat Taurens in front of me, and I can't see a thing.
Yeah, you can't see anything. So.
It's really fun though, and I got some boots last night, and that's great.
Nice.
This is our normal progression, of course. We hope to get to heroic. We'll get a little bit here in a minute. We'll talk about the next patch coming and why I feel like it might be a little bit too soon, considering how early we are.
Too soon for us.
Too soon for us, sure.
There's plenty of people out there who are getting through normal pretty easily, and they've been raiding longer than we have, essentially.
Patrick, what are you doing in the game? What's up with you?
Well, I'm raiding with my my raid team, which is kind of unstable. It comes and goes pretty much around every boss. The entire raid team renews. It's 25 people, 24, I guess. And the bosses are pretty easy, but at least every 3 bosses, I have to re-enter the raid group, the raid guild submission process thing. I think it's a little bit complicated, but I'm enjoying it. It's fun.
Are you?
I'm really happy you got it. I wasn't sure, you were going to understand what I was saying.
It took me a minute, but I saw. Eventually it sunk in. Everything was
creeped
fine.
up on you.
Yeah, creeped up like my underwear does.
I'm raiding. I'm doing heroics, 2-3 times a week, something like that. And I'm slowly creeping up to the point where I'll be able to raid, Blackrock Foundry when it comes out.
Really?
I don't want to spoil the rest of the show, but I'm at 629 now. So for me, the pace is pretty much perfect.
So wait, so have you gotten where are you mostly gearing up? Like you've gotten that far via rating or via heroics, or what are you doing to get there? Because it seems like that's awful quick for you.
Is it? No.
No,
I'm doing heroics that get you, what is it, 630?
630.
And
Sometimes
raids
you get
give
636 stuff too. It can roll higher.
right,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
Warforged
Yeah.
things. And you get 640 in the LFR. So you can do, and the thing is with the guaranteed drop at the end of heroics, you're never wasting your time. You're always going to get something. So yeah, I think it's if you're playing relatively casually, as I am, you're pretty much set with the little things you do. I've sort of eased up on garrisons even. I'm doing it a little bit. I'm doing the missions here and there, but I'm not gearing up from garrison missions anymore. So there's less of an incentive, and yeah, I'm enjoy. I even did, what was it? Grimrail Depot?
Oh,
No,
Grimrail.
yeah, Grimrail.
Yeah, Grimrail.
Yeah. I did it for the first time today. I don't know how I didn't get it
Weird.
into the rotation ever.
Hopefully you got with
in like 2 months.
some good people, because that can be a huge pain if people suck. That particular run.
Yeah, it wasn't easy. I was surprised, but it wasn't too. We wiped a couple of times, but powered through, and we got through. And then I went to do the second wing of the raid, and it took like 15 minutes. So that was fun. Although for the first boss, I think we only had like 15 or 16 people in the raid.
Yeah.
In the LFR, and we managed to do it anyway. We were like, all right, whatever, we'll just go and do it. And there was actually a little bit of a fun challenge. We weren't sure we were going to be able to make it, but we did. And it was like this kind of really rewarding experience that you have with strangers when things work out. So
Right. Well, that's cool.
yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying this, quote unquote end game content, but I'm having this thing happen right now where I'm kind of okay letting some of the garrison stuff lapse a little bit. I'm not really all that in a hurry to make sure all my followers are, constantly out doing things. Like I'll get in and go, I could go run a rift. I'll hop out and go play Diablo for a while.
It feels like a little bit. It's worky at this point, right? It's kind of it's tasks that must be completed, right?
Yeah. And sometimes that's just not fun. I just want to go do something fun, and so I'll get out, play Diablo for a while, come back in, raid. Like this isn't an unfamiliar pattern for me though. Like once you get to a certain point in the expansion, after I've kind of eaten all the quest content and story stuff, although we haven't even talked about story missions that are or campaign missions that are happening weekly now. I've yet to even do that, but I hear they're amazing. Anyway, point is,
they're cool.
That stuff's in, and that's a great way to kind of keep that stuff alive. But I always hit this spot where I'm like, I don't want to do the tasks. I want to play with friends
you just want to have
do something
the
new.
part. Yeah.
And that's the thing. You don't have to, as I've been, arguing since the beginning of the expansion. You really don't have to. You just go in and do what you want to do. And I'm sure that there are some people who go in and just do their garrison stuff. They, go and harvest their flowers, they do their mining, and they do their missions, and they're fine with that.
Yeah.
I will say, though, if you're going to do one thing in garrisons, it's get your followers geared up, because you can start getting eye level 645 gear from missions.
Yeah, that's
true.
true.
You get 655
that I
stuff
didn't realize.
Too.
Yeah, you totally can.
So I actually got a chest piece and replaced the blue chest piece with a eye level 645, and you can get 655 if you get the highest one or whatever, which is essentially like they're raiding high maul. Your followers are raiding high maul for you,
which is crazy.
So what eye level do they have to be for those missions to appear?
It's whatever. Like if you need to have, I believe it's just like 3 of them over a certain threshold, and then they could do those eye level missions. So if you have 3 followers, 655 is the highest right now.
Yeah.
So if you have 3 of them at 655, then you can randomly get the high maul raid mission, and then they can complete it, and then you can get 655 from that.
Yeah.
So basically, it's the thing that you want to do once you have characters level 100 and epic. You really want to start getting some gear for them, those upgrade things.
The salvage yard is a really great way to do that, and also the war something. What is the war something?
War mill?
War mill, yeah, the war mill, because you can actually use, like, at this point, garrison resources. I just have a ton of them, but that thing, you put in work orders, and the work orders will give you the little armor upgrades for your guys. So you can get a bunch that way, and then also opening the big crates of salvage will get you a lot of those as well.
Yeah, good ones
so,
too,
and then,
blues
of
and
course,
purples and stuff.
I'm prioritizing the armor upgrade missions over all the other ones at this point, because those are the ones that I really want. I want to upgrade, So I've got 6 followers at 655 now, and they're all epic level, and so I'm, you're actually getting, rewards you can use in the game, and not just here's some gold, here's some XP for your guys. Like, here's, you're actually getting rewards that are usable, and I immediately got an upgrade.
Are you sad? Are you sad that the other day I got a text right when it was happening, but I happened to be in the shower when the text came? Got out, saw the text, went, "Oh shite!" Ran down to my computer, logged in. A huge group of AIE had found Pound Fist.
And I talked about this on the show, didn't I?
It was right before. Oh, did we talk? Maybe we did.
I got a whisper, and I got there too late.
Yeah. It was in the game. See, I
thought it happened again.
Oh, maybe did it? Don't even tell me that.
This probably was another time. It's every 96 hours?
Yeah, it's some crazy thing. But a huge portion of the guild all got him. Freaking Brian Ibbett was there, bastard, and he's the one that texted me. And if I'd have been out of the shower and seen it, I could have gotten it. I would have had enough time.
See, Scott, that's what the French know. Never take a shower.
Exactly.
Finally, some reason.
Or you might miss Pound Fist. Yeah.
You'll be stinky. But
you'll
have a big
for this for centuries, and finally we're ready.
Yeah, he pulled that out last night. And I was like, "Put that away, you sneaky jerk! I don't want to see that thing until I have it." Anyway, it's interesting because now things are kind of sussing out to be like, all right, what are people really doing with their garrisons? They got their head around it. What do they value the most? I spent so much time on missions just going straight for garrison resources, and
early on that's what you want, but eventually, like at this point, I don't need resources at all. I'm like constantly hovering around 3,000 to 5,000 of them, and they just mean almost nothing at this point. I
have 7,000. I don't have anywhere to spend them. I don't know what to do with them.
So that's why you get that war mill, because you use them up getting follower upgrades and stuff, and then use them on or a trading post, because you can get the specific mats you might need for whatever it is that you're doing.
War mill's medium, is it? Is it medium?
Yes.
Medium.
It's a medium. Yeah.
I'm going to swap something out today.
And also, it's really cool because you can get transmog gear out of there, so you can look like a Orgrimmar grunt.
Yeah.
If you want to, that's what you're into.
That is kind of cool.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. I'm not.
But see, I mean, like, Pound Fist mounts, fine, whatever. That'll happen, or it won't one day. But Garrison stuff, doing 21.5k DPS. That's why I play the game.
That's where the business is at.
That's what I'm putting my time into.
That's where, as they say, that's where Dill's rubber meets the road. If you know what I'm saying.
Yes.
All right. Well, we we have that and a lot more to talk about in the news. Let's get to it. Here you go. World of Warcraft may be adding a free-to-play to veterans, or will they? Turns out they won't be. There was a huge flutter sort of. There was a huge freak out for a while, for a couple of days on various news sites. This got as far as like weird tech sites like CNET and TechCrunch and others were all reporting that World of Warcraft was possibly adding a free-to-play mode for veterans of the game, quote-unquote veterans. This was from data mined information. There's still a lot of articles up that sort of describe what people were trying to think that was going to be. And then they clarified and said this in a blue post. This was from Bashiok. It says, "We've always had this kind of weird limitation where if you've never played WoW, we let you play as much as you want, albeit in a very restricted starter edition account. However, if you have ever had a subscription, we don't currently have one. We don't even let you log in. In 6.1, we effectively revert lapsed accounts into a starter edition mode with all of the same restrictions. That the one difference being that your sub-level 20 characters will be able to join a guild even if your characters are still in that guild." Let's see. The label for this mode internally was veteran. For those and those strings were what was data mined. But it's likely or unlikely, I can't read today. Unlikely, I can't even say what time of day it is. It's unlikely to be a term to be used for any great degree externally. It will simply be the default state for accounts that don't actually have a current active subscription. So, everyone calm down. There is no veteran free-to-play mode. But for a while there, people are like, hey, if I've been with the game for 10 years, and let me have a little, VIP treatment. I can just play the game for free. So just theoretically, let's just say that was what this was. Is that a terrible idea? Could we get there one day? Is this their entry into free to play as a way to tiptoe into it? No.
This is like fixing a problem, essentially, to me.
Yeah.
Go ahead, it's fixing a sort of weird, not loophole, but bug that people who have never played have the right to play, and people who have paid money don't have the right to play in the same way. And answering your question, Scott, are people ever going to get the free to play if they've played for 10 years? Mm-hmm. No. Of course not. It's like, you've stayed with us for 10 years. Now you will never give us money ever again. That's the people you want giving you money.
You're the ones that have given you all the money the entire time.
They will probably continue to give you money if you just ask for it nicely.
Yeah, you don't have to incentivize them necessarily because they've already done it. Like the people who have, and we'll get to some of those people here in a minute with something else, but the people who have been there since day one, subscribing and paying their 15 or so average dollars a month, every month, for 10 years, I don't know why you'd want to suddenly make them. I understand you want to show them some appreciation, but to give it to them free seems like you're. I don't know. This is not.
I don't even think this is an entryway into going free to play. To me, what this is okay. You know that thing where you can play up to level 20, and you never have to. It's not a trial or whatever. It's just here. You have an account. You go up to level 20, and maybe you buy the real one if you want it or not. Now we're making that trial available to everybody, not just new people, and that's all it really is.
Yeah.
So if you ever had an account, you couldn't do this at all. If you ever had an account in the past, you just couldn't do it.
You would have to create a new account, which is kind of weird. But if anything, that initial starter edition was a bigger entry into free to play because that's kind of what it was. Except very limited, but you can kind of play WoW kind of free to play until level 20, and that's a free to play option. So
well, it's funny how this was going to be huge news, and people were already deciding how terrible or how great it was, and then it turned out to be complete.
And it's whatever.
That's the problem with data mining, right? You data mine this stuff.
This is just this just is a move to say, okay, all the people who used to play and aren't anymore, this might bring some of them back in a way. Like we didn't have a way to kind of get them back in and just kind of come in and just check things out, and see the new models and stuff like that. Like there just wasn't a way for them to log into their old accounts without paying. So
maybe that's a small motivator, but I really don't think so. I mean, I think it's the kind of thing that someday at one point someone thought of this and thought, oh, well, a guy who's never played can create an account and play to level 20, and the customers that have actually given us money can't do that with their account.
Sure.
Maybe we should fix it. And they put it on the back burner somewhere, and finally someone had time to, implement that, and that was it. Maybe I'm totally wrong, but
no, that feels.
I think
it's not a big.
That's probably part of it.
Not a big thing.
I think it's a combination of things, but they're making a lot of the systems in the game more friendly to people coming back. And I think this is another one of those.
I agree with that.
Okay, if you're away and you don't, you want to come back, this is a way you could kind of come back in, see the updated models and all that stuff without having to pay first, and and then you can decide, oh, I do like the way things look now, and I want to get back into it.
Well, strategically speaking, is there ever a better time than when you're riding high? They've got their best numbers they've had in a few years, and so now I think this is the time you start putting into place things that drive old players to come back. You've got momentum, but also you have the shroud of you're doing really well. When you're not doing well, your numbers are down, it looks desperate for you to say, hey, we've got a bunch of new ways to bring people back, and it's not as good a PR move as it is right now.
Maybe, but I think if they wanted to make this move to bring people back, I'm wondering if they wouldn't allow people to play until, I don't know, level 91, for example, instead of level 20. That's not going to convince anyone who's left the game to come back. It's old content. It's stuff they know. I couldn't think, maybe I'm wrong, but I couldn't think of anyone who's played and left the game and comes back to a level, 11 tune and thinks, this is how I'm going to get back into it. But maybe.
Yeah, but there's a lot of players who may have left a long time ago. There's things that are completely different about the 1 to 20 than there were maybe when they were around, and also the fact that the character models have changed is a pretty big deal.
If you left in Wrath, you'd coming back to a very different Azeroth, and
and let's be honest, a lot of people clearly left in Wrath because that was when it was the highest, right?
Yeah, so that was their big dip. Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting, but I'm glad they clarified, and it was nice that they did that before our show today, because we would have just gone down the rumor path like everybody else and not really had much to go on. But it's nice to know what that actually meant. But it turns out veterans. Go ahead.
I hold the argument that Blizzard is not going to go free to play with World of Warcraft until they're not raking in tons and tons of money. You cannot. It makes sense for, an MMO that's doing 1 million subscribers or something like that. But even at 6 million, even at 4 million, even at 3 million, it doesn't make sense. You're trying to turn, a guaranteed flow of income into a hopeful flow of income through free-to-play transactions, and I just don't see how you convert, the average, what is it, 12 a month by 10 million people. You suddenly convert that into that amount of money just with free-to-play transactions. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, and
it doesn't physically make sense. It doesn't. Yeah, physically make sense. Excuse me.
Mathematically, it doesn't make sense. I mean, the number of people playing free-to-play games that pay for something is usually like 2 to 5%. Even 5, I think, is a little bit high.
Yeah.
So, of course, those people usually pay an enormous amount of money. You have the whales, but keep in mind, WoW also has ways for players who want to spend a little bit more to do so with obviously the mounts and pets and some other services.
Sure.
There's lots of other
transfers and racial changes and all that stuff. Yeah, they do. I think they do fine on the things that are micro. I wouldn't call them micro. I mean, everything's over $15, but these transactions are certainly making Blizzard additional money on top of that. And I completely agree. It's easy to look at it on the face and go, yeah, man, the whole world's going free to play. Blizzard's going to be forced to do it. Well, maybe one day. I don't know. That's a tall order anyway. But even if that does happen, it's no time soon. And they're not going to do it just because the industry's making a shift. They'll do it. They're a shift maker. They tend to be a tent pole that other people look at and try to emulate. And the only problem with their pay model is no one else has been able to compete with them, so they haven't been able to emulate the price thing, so they've had to go a different way. But that's not because Blizzard's doing it wrong. It's because Blizzard's dominating. Yeah. And until they don't dominate, what motivation do they have to change it?
Yeah, unless they're making a small enough amount of money that they think they can make more the other way. That's the only time this ever happens, and we're a long way away from that right now.
Well, if you're a veteran player, you might be getting something pretty rad in the mail. This sort of just in. It looks like Blizzard was planning and is sending some kind of gift to players, a physical gift, who have had their account for 10 years. Now, I have a theory that this is people who have had uninterrupted subscription accounts for the full length and lifespan of the game without any interruptions, no lapsed cards, no weird, I'm leaving the country for 3 months and need to suspend my account. Like people who have had it constant the entire time, because this is a really rad thing. It appears to be the Orc Wolf Rider mini statue that is based on the big, huge one out in front of Blizzard headquarters. And people have been getting them. There are photos posted on MMO Champion and other places. On Reddit, I saw a couple of things. And here's my theory. First of all, it's a super cool thing to do. Something they didn't have to do. And it's, again, a great way to show those paying 10-year people that, man, we really appreciate it with something significant and cool. But I don't think they're going to send it. For example, I've had an account since day one, but I don't think I'm going to get it. And here's why. I had about a year's time where I was using, not Cat Hunters, but somebody she worked with. Somebody's 25-year WoW card who didn't want to use it. Now, as we know, Terpster had that for a while too. He had it for a few years. For my full year, that thing paid for WoW, and I didn't have to have a regular recurring subscription on actual payment. That was beautiful, but that person left the company, and when they do that, the card becomes useless. That's no longer usable once you're gone. It's while you're working there that it works. So I think that interruption, despite the fact that it was actually a cool thing that someone at Blizzard did for me, makes me ineligible. I don't think I'm going to get it. And I think that that's fine. I think it makes sense because what they're trying to do is truly appreciate those who are the cream of the crop, paid every month since day one. Otherwise, this is way too many statues to make.
It's a lot of people.
It's already going to be a lot.
Incredibly hard.
Yeah. I mean, if I'm to guess, here's my guess. There's, this is total stab in the dark, but like 50,000 people have had a 100% uninterrupted subscription since then. Without any problems.
Yeah.
There are people who had, my credit card elapsed and I forgot. Oh, crap, let me re-up with my new card. I think those people are ineligible. I could be wrong.
I think they would be ineligible.
Yeah.
I would guess maybe there's, a little bit of a margin of error, but I don't think so, because even if you only take, from the very beginning, let's say they take it from the first month, the people who were subscribed from the very beginning, I think they reached 1 million subscribers within the first month for, after a couple of weeks, was it?
Yeah.
So how many of those never lapsed?
Yeah.
It's very difficult to say, but even with just that, it's a lot of people. The thing I want to know about is the person's reaction. The person who had that subscription and completely forgot about it for 9 years. And they're going to get the thing in the mail.
Yep.
And they're like,
wait,
awesome.
Wait a minute.
Say what
I
now?
didn't want this.
I love that. I love that idea, because there's somebody someplace.
Yeah, there has to
I hope
be one
so.
person.
Yeah. I mean, if they would have let me use my PayPal account from the beginning, I would have never lapsed, I think. Well, no, I still would have had that year. Yeah, that year thing screwed me.
Stop making it about you, Scott.
I don't want to make this about me,
Nobody
but here's what I'm thinking. Immediately, those things are going to start showing up on eBay for who knows how much money.
Well, I don't see any yet.
Yeah, it's going to be a couple of days, because I don't think they're getting in people's hands yet, but they will.
How much do you think it's going to go up for? Give me a ballpark.
I'll bet they go for $500 on eBay.
Really?
Yeah, $500.
You know how much it would cost somebody to have that?
No. How much?
If you
it
paid
goes for more,
$12,
good point.
If you paid $12 a month for 10 years, you spent $1,440
on that.
And that's
thing?
the least you could pay, right? If you do the 6 month at a time subscription.
You know what? That's not bad. 12 times.
But you also got to play World of Warcraft for 10 years too, so you got to factor that in. That's also worth something. Right?
Wait, something's wrong in that math. Let's go.
But
12.
So there's, I don't know if you know, but when they that statue is the one that they have at the Blizzard offices in Irvine, right?
Yeah.
It's a giant life-size statue.
Yeah.
When they got that one, they gifted to all of the employees in the world a smaller version of that statue, but it's still pretty massive. It's maybe half a meter wide.
Whoa.
And convert that in space.
You're the one with space points. You mean normal points is what you're saying?
Yeah, maybe 30 inches wide, something like that. So it's pretty massive.
Yeah.
And since you made it about you, I'm going to make it about me too. I got a chance to get one of those for free.
Jerk.
And I passed, and I've been regretting it.
What? Wait, why did you pass?
It was a friend who was leaving the Paris office.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, he was going to the US, and he was like, well, crap, I can't, carry this with me. It's like 10 kilos or something, 15 kilos.
Yeah.
Maybe not that much, but and he said, hey, Patrick, do you want it? It was like 2009. And I was like, well, I used to live in like a shoebox, and I couldn't really put it anywhere. And so I was like, no, I guess never mind. And ever since then, anyway, those big ones don't go for, but I just eBayed it, and it's $1,600 or best offer. I don't know if they go for that amount, but I've heard about them being sold for at least $500 to $1,000 minimum.
Yeah.
I don't know. How much would you pay for one? Scott,
I'd pay. Since I also paid a lot of money over the last 10 years for this game, it's hard for me to justify wanting to do more. So I would probably pay like $200. I don't think I'd go more than that.
Yeah. I would pay $0 for
this. This is no better than like a mount or a pet in the store. You're just not doing it.
No, I mean, it's better. It's better than that, but I can't justify spending any money on something like this.
Yeah.
You know, the weird thing for me is that things like this don't. I don't know. I have everything that I have over time from like BlizzCon and whatnot. None of them are displayed anywhere. I can't find it in me to go, I'll put this here, and I just never do that. That just doesn't.
I'm always split between those two things. I always get real wanna keep keepsakey with stuff that I think is really cool, but then I'm also kind of like, I'll never want to buy another Blu-ray again. I never want to buy another book again. I just want it all digital. I want it all on a hard drive. I want it all easy.
Yeah.
So in some ways, I'm split.
I can sell you a picture of that statue if you want.
Hey, I'll pay you one.
It'll be
franc.
digital. It'll be great. You can look at it anytime you want.
I'll play you a single franc for that. Can you do that? An old franc. We'll pull that out.
One franc.
Yeah. No euros. Forget that.
Now, see, if I had a man cave or an office like you, Scott, I might display some of these things.
Yeah, but see, there's a downside. There's a downside, and you're right. There's that makes it.
You have
easier.
to have a spot where you put this.
Sure.
Stuff. I just have my room and my apartment, and then everywhere else. That's space for everybody. I can't just throw all my WoW stuff out there and be like, I'm going to put this.
Everybody
would
enjoy your WoW stuff.
Yeah, that's probably. I think my roommate Gussie would love all of my little Arthas things all over the house.
Your little toys everywhere.
Yeah.
It's cool, but when you have to move, so I had to move a year and 2 months ago or whatever.
Oh yeah, you got to pack it all up.
That sucked. I hated that. And there were times where I was like, you know what? I should just get rid of 90% of this, and it's really hard to get rid of. So yeah, that was a hard move for whatever reason. That I accumulated a lot in those 9 years. This I was just as an example though. In my hand here is a handmade Mass Effect 3 gun that Bill Duran made for me. And I'll never want to get rid of this. So part of me is now switching over to, if somebody makes something rad, I'm much more interested in having that, displaying that, keeping that, than I am like rushing out and buying a collector's edition or some of that stuff. Like, I have friends that are diehard collector's edition buyers. I usually don't get them. I'm usually like, whatever. I just want to play the game, Oh,
you don't mean for WoW, right?
I don't even buy those. I just don't.
Really?
Yeah, I always buy just like the little...
really?
The really...
You don't have the WoW collector's edition?
I do, but I didn't get them by buying them.
Oh, right. Okay.
Usually a fan will donate them, or Blizzard will give us some to give away, or they'll say, hey, this one's for you, or whatever. So once in a while, like they sent... In fact, Dills and I got a cool Pandaria one that was just a nice gift. And
which I'm going to admit, Scott,
yeah,
I gave it to somebody.
Oh, did you really? See, that's how that's just how light you roll, dude. You just don't want to.
I knew it would make this person really, really happy.
Yeah.
And
well, you're a
they did. They cried. They cried when I gave it to them. So I was like, okay, you cried when you got it.
Yeah.
I was just kind of stoked.
Yeah. Kind of crying beats kind of stoked every time.
Yeah, it's a different thing.
Well, Dills, I would cry if you gave me $1,000.
All right. Well, now I know what to get you for your birthday.
Excellent.
Brilliant.
Fantastic.
Watch for those.
I will say though, I do display one thing. That's that little Arthas helmet. Have you guys ever seen that?
Oh yeah, I love that thing.
It sits on like a little, the fake head.
Yeah, the small one.
Wigs on.
Yeah,
it just has one of those little things. It's Arthas helmet, sits on it. It's a small guy.
Yeah.
It's kind of heavy though. It's made of like real metal and all that. But Mike, who works at Blizzard, gave it to us to do for like a Hearthstone tournament as a prize.
Yeah.
I actually got second in the Hearthstone tournament, but the other guy didn't want it. He just wanted the gift card.
Yeah.
There was like a gift card for iTunes money he was going to use to buy cards. So he's like, you take the head or the helmet. Sorry. You take the helmet and I'll take the gift card.
Yeah.
And that's it. So I got second in the Hearthstone tournament. I won that. It's kind of like a little trophy.
You earned it. And that thing's cool.
All right. There's a couple of things I actually do have. I don't display much, but there's this, which is my employee plaque thing.
Yeah.
From Blizzard.
It looks like a Wii U, but yeah, whatever.
The giant poster.
Oh, you're such a bastard. Look at that.
Those are cool. all my friends and colleagues from work. They gave me this when
you left.
I left. And this one I really have no place to put it. But it's been like 3 months. I haven't had the heart to put it away. So
I want to make you guys jealous with two things, and then we'll move on. Two things I want to make you jealous with. And I don't want to make this about me, but back here you can't see it. I have a huge, what looks like a retail box from the Mist of Pandaria, but blown up huge, sticking to my wall. That is just a big and large version that has every dev signed it, and that's hanging on the wall. Right next to it, a Diablo 3 box, same thing. The whole team signed it. And then I have all of the, remember the Chinese Coke cans that were like a one-time thing? You could get this set of all the cans of Coke that had Horde and Alliance characters on it. Some fan sent me that. And those are really rare and go for pretty good money on eBay. So I'm hanging on to that forever. So those are the 3 things that I do not want to get rid of. Oh, and then the signed collector's editions. So yeah, they add up. Dills is right to just do the philanthropy and just give it to somebody who's going to cry. And,
yeah, I don't know. I just felt like that. I was like, what am I doing with this? What am I using this for?
Yeah.
And then when I realized that somebody was gonna have a breakdown if they got this, I was like, well, yeah, that's worth it.
Yeah, you should have got it on camera. You should have got it on camera,
look.
man. Some kind of video of the person losing it. That'd have been the way to go.
Yeah, that's probably true. But you know what? The moment actually happened, that's good enough for me.
Yeah. All right. Well, look, you're a man of this. You're a salty man of the earth. Blackrock Foundry raid schedule released. Looks like we can get it quick too if you want to get your normal and heroic on. Blackrock Foundry opens with normal and heroic on February 3rd, 2015. World bosses Rukmar that particular boss becomes available in Spires of Iraq. So if you've been waiting for that, there's that. Does that seem soon to anyone? Because it seems soon to me, and I know we're a little slow on our team. I get all that, but one of the complaints with Miss was how rapidly the content seemed to be coming in those patches, and then they were stuck with Siege of Orgrimmar for a year. So are we?
Yeah, I hope that's not the case. I hope that it's spaced out a little bit better. Where these seem like smaller raids, right? There's 7 bosses here, but I don't think this is soon for a lot of people. It's soon for us. We're talking what, 2.5 months almost?
2.5.
Since it's out, since it's been out, not since High Maul, but since the game's been out.
The expansion. Yeah,
that it'll be 3 months, right?
Yeah.
3 months.
November,
December,
it was
January. Middle of November, right, when it came out.
Well,
so you had half of November.
Oh, right, you're right.
December,
it will be 2.5.
January, and this is the beginning of February.
Right.
So it's like 2.5 months. So it's like I don't know. I mean, that's pretty fast to have your second raid already out. But I'm okay with it. It's not like it's gonna go away for us.
Well, you get Mythic on the 10th. That difficulty opens on the 10th, so they have a little ways to wait, which makes sense. You want to ramp up in your normal and heroic. 17th, Raid Finder Wing 1, which is Slagworks rather, Gruul. Oh my gosh, we're going to fight Gruul again. I can't wait. Or Gorger and the Blast Furnace, that all unlocks. Then on the 24th, Wing 2. On March 10th, Wing 3. And then on March 24th, Wing 4. If anything, that seems like a slower rollout than usual, but whatever. I don't know. These are probably the same. It probably has never been that different, and we just think it is. Like, everyone's complaining this is happening too fast. But...
Well, Dark Anders makes a good point that this is kind of the first tier, actually. Like High Maul is the introductory raid, if you will.
Yeah. And
this is tier 1 of this.
That's a good point. Content. This is almost like the first. I don't want to say real raid and discount High Maul, but it's definitely got, well, from what you can read about it. It's definitely more of a raid in the traditional sense, meaning a lot more weird trash, a lot more weird mini-boss stuff going on. Like, it's I don't know, it feels like old school raiding to me, whereas High Maul feels a little bit like, here's a way to skip a bunch of trash, and here's a way to get to the butcher faster, and here's a way to, I don't know. They're more arena-type fights. Like, it doesn't feel quite the same as, say, something like, I don't know, Old War or whatever, whereas I feel like Blackrock is going to be a bit more like Wrath raiding or something, some bigger, more complex, longer thing. And so maybe that's right. It's a true tier 1 raid, and this other one's more, like you said, preparatory for that.
Yeah.
So you don't get tier gear in High Maul at all in any difficulty?
No, there's no tier gear. There's no
okay. I didn't realize.
Yeah,
4-piece set, 2-piece.
You get good gear. It's all great.
Yeah, you get good gear,
but it's not. There's no sets, no tier sets until this new stuff. Anyway, so you got all that to look forward to. We'll fight Blackhand. Right away if you're normal and heroic. But you Raid Finder folks who are all complaining like crazy for some reason, you will not get it until March 24th. And that seems like a ways away. But there you go. Something we asked for on the show is more variation on the music in the Garrison, and by gum, it's coming in 6.1. The Garrison Jukebox songs are coming. They include classic music from like Wrath and other expansions, and there is no word on how any of this gets unlocked. But the theory is, and my theory is, that you'll do it through Garrison missions. So a dude will go and do a mission. If he's successful, it'll unlock, I don't know, Grizzly Hills tune, and you can play that now in your Garrison. Because I don't know about you, but I turned my music off because I'm sick of the Garrison music. So it'll be nice to kind of turn that back on, I guess, and enjoy the rest of the game's music, because you forget to turn it back on. It's kind of annoying. I don't know if there's a mod out there that'll just mute Garrison music right now.
Mute music in certain zones?
Yeah,
that'd be interesting.
That would be interesting. I don't know if they have that, but that would be cool, because that's just, it's annoying me. Every minute spent in a Garrison sounds like a minute spent in a Bruckheimer movie. It's like, what's going on here? I'm just picking flowers, and it sounds like the world's ending. So that'll be nice. Patrick, did you end up getting your stuff, your freaking pet or your anything and your molten core? Did you do that before it ended?
Oh, the molten core thing. Oh,
because they ended it, or they extended it a week.
Over.
Remember that?
Yeah,
I know it's not still going, but they gave it another 4 or 5 days or something.
It ended January 5th, I think.
Yeah, but wasn't it originally?
Honestly, the horror stories I heard of molten core and my experience convinced me that I would have loved to have gotten it, but I couldn't be bothered, honestly. It felt like more effort than I was going to get enjoyment out of. So
you never did it.
Yes, I quit. I never made it. I surrendered.
Surrendered, no. I see. Okay. Surrendered. Interesting
choice of words.
Yeah. Although,
not at all.
I got to say this again, and I know we talked about it pre-show, but I'll just mention it. France is kind of badass in the face of that horrible terror attack. Just, you guys are just tearing it up. Like there's no, it isn't like no one's sitting around going, but let's see if we can meet. No, it's like, it's pretty hawkish. And I don't mean that in a bad or negative way, and that has a lot of connotations to it. But I mean, you're there to stick up for yourselves, freaking fight and not that we thought you wouldn't. I know this all sounds so condescending. You know what I mean? Like, I don't mean it to sound that way. I just was impressed. I'm impressed with the swift nature of it.
Honestly, we honestly didn't know how things were going to go. And the nightmare scenario was, first of all, that we wouldn't find them at all. And thankfully that didn't happen. And the second nightmare scenario was that these hostage situations would last for a really long time, and that didn't happen either. Now, as to the way it was handled, it's a lot easier to be really angry when something like that happens. And I think in other situations, if we had a hostage situation, the question would have been asked a lot more strongly of, should we just go in? Should we take them alive? Should we? And it's not like no one wanted them to be taken alive, but when they weren't, because they came out shooting, not a lot of people were, questioning what happened and whether or not they should have been killed. Basically, I think everyone agrees that the police and army and special forces and everyone did a great job. And
just
that's
tearing
good.
It, tearing
now we
it
have
up,
to see
man.
what happens afterwards.
Tearing it up. French Special Forces. Woo! All right.
And I would also like to thank, since you're mentioning it, to thank everyone from the Instance and other communities who have expressed their support to me as the only French person they kind of have a connection with.
Right.
I was talking about this on Daily Tech News Show, so apologies if you've heard it before. But thank you very much. It was a super weird situation, being like smack down in the middle of it, and at the same time very remote, because it didn't affect me personally. But every person who sent support, it was very much appreciated, and I feel like it was a reflection of what the whole world sent towards us. So thank you very much. And even more importantly, I would like to thank America for reverting the name of Freedom Fries back to French fries after this incident.
Not a problem. It's finally the day has come.
It was time.
I'll be honest with you, Patrick. I always called them French fries. I never changed.
Yeah. And
I don't believe you. I very well know that every American in the world was calling French fries Freedom Fries for the past 10 years.
I even still called it. I never called it Freedom Bread. I never called it any. I kept French in all the names of my food items.
I did too. French toast, French fries.
I was like Freedom Toast and Freedom Bread.
Yeah, that was effed up.
I feel like I have a sort of kinship to you, Dills, but I will sort of confirm this at my birthday when you'll give me those $2,000.
Yeah. Wait, it's 2,000 now?
That's gone up. Inflation.
This is inflation, man.
Inflation.
Wow.
It's bad. It's weird. Gas prices go down. Patrick's prices go up.
Patrick prices go up.
It's really weird.
As far as most tadpoolers are concerned, though, Patrick, I do want to say this: you are the ambassador of France.
Oh yeah,
Like
you're the face.
That
of
is
it.
your official title.
Sure, sure. Patrick from France. That's what we call you, Patrick from France. What do you think that means?
Like, we don't call Terpster from England.
No, never.
That is true. That is
He
true.
represents nobody. Also, and I'm sure after this aftermath, I'm sure all of the. I'll only mention this briefly, okay? But all the angry Tea Partiers that emailed us, they all forgive Patrick now.
They hated
all is forgiven, Patrick. All is forgiven. All right, moving on.
Yeah, and I didn't want to offend anyone. I was, about this, I got one person on Twitter who was really angry. Yeah. Just one.
Yeah.
But
really? That's all you got? I got a lot more than you did. Dang it! I got a ton more.
Scott, we had to bear the brunt of
the two Americans really took the heat.
Bad?
Oh, it was bad. People were pissed. It's not a big deal. We basically just said I would say things like, well, yeah, Patrick may think that, but guess what? We think that they all sit around drinking wine and smell bad. So, and that's clearly not true.
And also it really wasn't. Anyway, let's not get back into it.
No, let's not.
It's fine.
I really didn't mean it the way I think people took it.
I completely agree, and I knew that at the time, and that's why. Yeah, I think even
that's the thing is like when it doesn't matter if you mean it that way, people will take it the way they take it, and that's the way they're gonna take it.
And the vast majority knew exactly what you meant. So it's fine. It's totally fine. All right, let's move on to the most important news bit of the day before we do a couple of calls, and that is the trans-dimensional bird whistle. It's coming.
This is the most important.
It's like they heard us. I mean, we've been talking on the show how important Pepe is and how Pepe needs to be a bigger part of our lives. And so it was 6.1. You're getting a new item. It is a toy, the trans-dimensional bird whistle. It calls forth Pepe to ride on your head as you adventure together. No more do you have to go back to town to your garrison and get it. And then only, like, it only lasted half the raid or whatever. Whistle him in whenever you need him.
And it's only a 60-second cooldown on this thing.
Yeah.
This is 100% Pepe all the time.
It's
you
Pepe,
can now
nonstop Pepe. Yep.
Pepe with you.
Yeah, and
I like how you call forth Pepe. It's not just get Pepe. No, it's call
forth Pepe. Got to give him the right respect. Use the right words. But he's a real rock star in the game. And I've had some people online go, I'm like, oh, what do you guys think about the new raid schedule? And guy goes, boring. Who cares? Talk about this new whistle. That's all that matters in 6.1. I'm like, yep, I'm with you. So anyway, that's coming.
The correct way to do this is to make a macro that when you do it, you yell out, Pepe, I call you forth to ride upon my head, or something. You can tailor that however you like, but I think that's the correct way to use this.
It's pretty exciting, no doubt about it. All right, we're going to get to some calls and emails real quick. Before I do, to tell you that today's episode is brought to you by our friends at doghousesystems.com. Doghousesystems.com, where you can get amazing new Blizzard systems. All you have to do is go to doghousesystems.com/Blizzard, pick your Horde or your Alliance side. They are beautiful. They are awesome. Actual art from actual Blizzard artists. And they would look really good on your desk playing blazing fast games. I love my doghouse. You'll love yours too. Go to doghousesystems.com, and don't forget the code Henry gives you double the memory. As always, if you want to call the show, 801-471-0462 is the phone number, or you can email us at theinstance@gmail.com. We have some phone calls that came to 801-471-0462, and they start with this one about achievements.
Hey guys, Tim Dog, Dwarf Pally from Kazgaroth here. I'm curious to know which of your WoW achievements you guys are most proud of. Mine would have to be Hot Streak, that's winning 10 arena matches in a row, which took a bit of skill, and Lawmaster, which is more of a grind than anything, but still a cool title to have. Would love to hear your thoughts. Cheers.
I am so not an achievement guy, so I'm the worst person to ask. I think I liked the Algalon one, because that was fun. But I don't really have any, like, at one point in my life, I thought Tom and I were actually going to compete with each other and both get Lore Master. And then you realize, oh my gosh, how many green quests did I leave behind in places I haven't been to in 8 years? And do I really want to, like that just kind of gives me a headache, and I could never bring myself to do it. So I'm not really an achievement chaser so much. Occasionally I'll get a little wild hair about something, and then, get a friend and we'll do it. And then okay, good. And then I don't want to deal with it anymore. I don't know how you guys are with that. Patrick, do you go after achievements? Like, what's your thing?
Well, before I say that, I just want to say that I recognized Terpster trying to do an American accent in the call just now. So
great.
I know you got on the call.
Nice.
And second of all, the only one I truly chased and ended up getting was the Hand of a Doll back in Burning Crusade times. When you had to do back when raiding meant something, when real people, I wasn't a raider, but that's why it meant so much. You had to do like 3 heroics, very specific ones, and then go through a couple of raids and do Magtheridon. And I rushed to it like the in the last, I would say, month before it would go away forever, because the next expansion was coming out, and then you couldn't get that specific achievement. And I think it's the one title that I wear, that I use all the time. It's my favorite thing ever. I totally understand the pride of those kinds of things. I'm actually like, it's my way of looking down on people who don't have it. So,
all right, always looking for ways to do that. That's good.
Of course.
Dills, do you? What do you do with achievements? We've never really talked about them on this show. I don't know why, but we never really do.
I think probably for me it was when we first did Glory of the Hero, like when it was still before any of that stuff got nerfed. This was Wrath of the Lich King, doing all of the achievements and all of the heroics.
Yeah.
And that was like when, we weren't raiding, we had regular gear, and we went and we did all of those achievements, and we got the reins of the red proto drake, and it took a long time. It was hard to do. We had to go and we had to figure out how to do all of these things, and some of them were incredibly difficult at the time, and we got it done. And we rode around on red proto drakes when not that many people had them. So that was cool.
And you're in that club of we did it when it was hard.
Yeah. So that means it's better, right? That means we're better than you.
Sure.
Yeah.
And I still think...
that's what I tell myself at night.
Well,
I'm better than everybody because I got my red proto drake before they did.
We keep saying that Blizzard should color code a chain, like the drake should have a purple, ear or something to denote that you got it when it was hard, or when people see it, they're like, oh, yeah, he did it when. But they'll probably never do that. I kind of wish they would. I don't think it'd be that hard. I mean, just
there are some things that you can get back when it was hard, that you could only get at some points, aren't there?
Yeah. That they eventually, you can't even get them at all. I think actually some of these drakes are the same way. It's like I got this in
the
January of 2009. Holy crap!
Titles persist.
That's 5 years ago.
Like even the cloak from the last expansion. That's it. You're done. If you didn't get it, you didn't get it. Yep, or in Patrick's case, unless they do a 20-year anniversary with another Molten Core run, you're out. You don't get that.
I didn't even get the cloak. I was so bummed.
I didn't get the cloak either. I'm with you.
You did?
No, I never did.
I was hindered by, I didn't play for a few weeks, and then I came back, and the stage where I was at, I needed a group because I was playing a stupid mage, which I love. First character, I love mages.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to be afraid to offend everyone. So I was playing a mage, and you couldn't do it. That guy in I think it was patch 5.1 or maybe 5.1, the PvP zone. You had to kill a commander, and you couldn't do it if you were just a lonely mage, and no one would ever come to do the thing with me. Yeah. So I was stuck there.
Oh, you poor guy. Feeling bad for you now.
Terrible.
Got another call here about what's up with Cho'gall.
Hey guys, this is Kuchalane from Silverhand, calling in regards to the instance. Got a question for you. We noticed the other night raiding High Maul, we found it odd that Cho'gall appears at the beginning and disappears, but then never reappears in the entire raid, even though he talks about the stones that are obviously being used by the Imperator at the end. Wondered if you guys had any insights or behind-the-scenes information or theories on that. Thanks.
Well,
bye.
Cho'gall is yes, you get some.
Cho'gall.
It's Cho'gall.
It's Cho'gall.
Cho'gall.
It's an A.
No, it's Cho'gall.
It's Cho'gall. What are you doing over there, France?
He even yells his name. It's just Cho'gall.
Yeah, he goes Cho'gall.
Yes, with
Cho'gall.
an A. It's CHOJAL.
Hey, Cho'gall, where are you going?
There you go.
Why are you leaving, you two-headed freak? Here's the deal with Cho'gall, and that's the official name. By the way, vanilla version of Cho'gall is the ugly mother scratcher. It's so stupid looking. The new one is badass. Anyway, the point is, I think his job is done for that High Maul stuff. He'll be back. His story continues.
Well, no, he's there. He is in there.
Where is he?
Only if you raid him on Mythic level. On Mythic, if you raid him, he
right.
comes out in the final boss.
That's right. I forgot about this. He comes out.
We talked about this on the show.
Yeah, and how people were upset they were missing this piece of lore. That's exactly right. Yeah, we already talked about it. You're totally right.
And it is. I just okay. It's spelled CHO apostrophe GALL, and I never say GALL as gal. That's always Gall, right?
Yeah.
It's Cho'gall.
Yeah, 2 L's, Patrick.
Sorry,
you are
wrong.
Sorry,
Cho'gall.
Patrick. Patrick. Is this Patrick?
Cho'gall?
So can I play the terrorism victim card now?
Well, listen, Patrick Bija. Let me think about that for a second. No, I think it is Cho'gall, but whatever. Yesterday I was schooled that it's okay for people from Britain to say orange instead of orange, or what's the other one? Horrible instead of horrible. That's, I guess, a British thing. If your parents were British or something and you were raised here, you'll likely say it that way, as the way Ibit does. And so,
the fact is, everybody says these names differently. So Patrick, you say Thrall, then, right? That's Thrall.
Oh,
well,
good point.
Thrall,
I was talking about.
Good
I was
point.
talking about
Point Dills on that one. Thrall.
Fine. Move on because I'm going to get angry and you don't want to see me angry.
Thrall. No, I do. I want to see the French Hulk. That's what I want to see most of all in my life. New players are still a thing is our next call.
I'm Riss on Airy Peak, level 61 Disc Priest. I'm a new player. I've been playing for about 2 months, and I'm running into a problem where I don't like questing. I leveled mostly through Dungeon Finder, and that's level 60, so okay, I'll go to Outlands. And I'm just not liking the quest.
So I watched a video on
What the heck is that?
how to
What
pronounce.
is that?
I don't know. What is that? All right. Anyway, I don't know what that was.
Wait, did
Like
you hear
another
this?
call started.
Yeah,
all
did
of a
you?
sudden.
Were you
was-
playing some girl
I
thing?
was trying to find the Cho'gall pronunciation.
That was you, Patrick.
I didn't think you could hear it.
I totally could hear it. Like, who the hell is
Oh
that
my
girl?
God.
That's funny.
Sorry,
dude.
I was trying to prove you wrong, and I messed up the show. That
I thought
proves
Scott was
that
making
means
a
I
joke.
should not. All right, sorry, my
I
bad.
thought
That's
because both
amazing.
people were kind of.
I am
taking
I
a
am
long
at
time to
fault.
get to the
I
point.
fully take
No,
responsibility.
that was amazing. I really enjoyed that. His point
Yeah,
is
questing does suck.
the
You're
questing
right.
does suck, and yes, the way to keep going is through. Where's your boost? If you're a new player, where's your boost? That's what I want to know. Should have
Yeah,
gotten
but
a
if
free
he
boost.
wants to level through all the stuff, maybe that. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. But I think I would say break up the questing by doing some PvP and some dungeons.
Yeah, all of it
just
gives
queue
you
it up.
XP. Yep. I
Queue
wonder
it
how.
up, and then once you get back to the questing, it won't feel so bad anymore. It's just the grind of doing it, and that's the only thing you're doing will just feel super grindy.
Yeah.
And you won't have fun.
The only downside to that I found when I was doing that was that you would go and do a bunch of dungeons, and then you would come back to your quest area and find that now everything's green or gray, and you're like,
Oh,
oh,
yeah. But
shoot,
that's
I
fine. You
leveled
just
out of it.
leave.
Yeah, just get the hell out of there, I guess. Go to
I mean,
next
if the
one.
questing sucks anyway, why do you care?
Yeah.
You know?
I guess
Just
the
leave,
problem
go
is you
somewhere
go to the next zone and it doesn't even open until someone in the old zone gave you a quest to go there, and it's I don't know, it's weird.
Not anymore. Now, if you are of level, a zone will just have the quest you need.
Will
Like,
it? I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's no like opening of zones through a quest anymore.
Been
That's
ages since I've done that, I guess.
because now you know if you're a certain level in the majors in Orgrimmar or whatever, there will be the what do they call it? The banner, the postings or whatever, and the thing will
right.
just have a quest for you, like, hey, go here.
Yeah, that's
'cause you're
true.
of that level.
That's why that thing exists, I guess.
Yeah, essentially. It's just,
But you guys, I mean, even for new players, you wouldn't recommend them to do the quests.
Well, I would.
I think
no, do the quest, but don't not if it sucks.
Yeah, if
Like,
you hate
you're
it,
not
if you
having fun,
if you
quest
hate it, do it the other way. If you really don't
Oh,
like
yeah,
questing, do it the other way. But I
Just do
I
all
love the
things.
questing. Yeah.
Break it
you
up.
can do the entire leveling process with just queuing up dungeons, and it goes really fast too. So
Yeah.
I wish I could.
Actually, when I level alts, generally what I do is I just gather and do profession stuff and just have a queue up all the time, and
Yeah.
that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
And maybe do a couple quests here and there, but
Yeah.
it's all through PvP and like PvP. You level up now. It's actually not very slow
Yeah.
either. It's actually kind of fast. So
Yeah.
I just do those things.
There you have it. Final call. Thrall's
Thrall's
balls. Sorry,
bowels.
Thrall's bowels. Sorry. Yeah. Throw me the bowel. Here you go. Let's see what it is.
Hello, Instance crew. I have a comment about a discussion that the three of you, I guess, had last week regarding Thrall's balls. I've played Warcraft as far as I can remember, including original Orcs and Humans, and my opinion on Thrall has actually changed. Recently, I think that Thrall's kind of a dick. He went ahead and put Garrosh, somebody he knew that wasn't going to be that great, in the mantle of War Chief, then got surprised when he kind of screwed it up. After that, he challenges him to a one-on-one brute strength duel in the Grand, then, surprise, shaman powers, bro, and goes ahead and cheats and wins the fight. I don't know, it just kind of seems like a dick move thing to do from the guy that we call the greatest war chief ever. Thoughts, questions, comments? Love the show, guys.
It's a little, yeah. I mean, I'm a little fuzzy on the Thrall stuff just because, yes, he's not taking a lot
how
of...
quickly they turn. He was your hero for
I like him.
like 8 years?
I love him. He's great. He's just... The problem with him is the way he has been written, especially in this thing, where there should be more regret as to what has gone down because of his decision. He hasn't really shown much remorse for his role in this. And that I do kind of have a problem with. So I'm sort of with the listener that way. Now that can be remedied. It can be written. It can be shown in books. It can be shown in future expansion work or stuff in this game, future patches, whatever. But as it stands right now, Thrall's kind of I didn't do it. Like he's a little bit washed his hands of it.
Well, he didn't know that was going to be the outcome of this at the time. He's a shaman. He's not a psychic.
Yeah, but at one point, Garrosh says to him, "You made me what I am." In a lot of ways,
yeah, because I couldn't handle
did.
the pressure, Thrall. It's your fault, man. You left me out here all alone.
I don't know.
Suck it, dude.
It's like a parent and a kid, and I think I understand that juxtaposition, and I can understand why he might look like he's shirking it a bit. It's easy to go, well, I can't control him. It wasn't my fault. Well, yeah, that's true to some degree, but leadership means smart, responsible choices, and then taking responsibility for those choices. And I don't know that Thrall has fully done that yet at this point. I don't know. I can see his point is all I'm saying. I don't think it's anything that breaks the game.
I guess it's not like Garrosh was the... Now I'm afraid I'm going to, get your wrath for pronouncing Garrosh wrong.
Whoa.
Okay.
I didn't realize it until you brought it up.
Isn't it Garrosh?
Yeah, it's Garrosh.
I'm saying Garrosh.
Garrosh. I don't know.
And it's not like he was a bundle of puppy love beforehand. He's always been an ass.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
he should have known.
Do you?
Yeah, but here's the deal. Thrall was tired from saving everybody's GD lives. Okay.
Okay.
He was tired.
Okay.
And he was done being a war chief, and he was like, in these coming times, I think you're the kind of guy that we might need right now.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody who's just kind of a badass and is going to go out and just get it done for the Horde. And then he didn't know that he was going to get all evil and corrupted and stuff, and that happens sometimes.
Yeah.
But is it really, like, now you're going to blame Thrall for that? Like,
No,
Thrall did
no.
the best thing that he thought he could do.
You shouldn't blame Hitler's mom for Hitler. I agree with you. That's what you're saying. Don't blame Hitler's mom for Hitler. Yeah. But Hitler's mom must feel some remorse and some pain for her son's actions. That's all.
I'm sure he does, but does he, so now we need him to just constantly be like, hey guys, I'm really sorry about the Garrosh thing. Like, we just need to always be looking down at his toes and no, it's fine.
Okay,
dude.
okay. Imagine this.
Or maybe
Go ahead,
you've got it all wrong. Maybe we're completely mistaken. Maybe Thrall was thinking, I think people like me less now. Like, they're tired of me. They think I'm usurping power because I've been here for such a long time. And he was like, I'll just put this asshole on the throne, and then I'll come back when he messes up, and I'll just save everyone, and then people will like me again.
But what about me, man? He's over there going, I am a good Horde leader. Here's the thing. All I'm asking for is one of those overly dramatic Blizzard story moments. Do it on one of those YouTube series, or give me a cinematic in game or something, where he comes into a war room full of Alliance and Horde leaders, and they're looking at him with both respect and, Thrall, you really, we needed you, and you kind of weren't there. And have him come in, take a knee, put the warhammer down, and go, I made a mistake. And I fully, hold on, we need some music for this. Here we go. All right, here we go. I made a mistake, and I take full responsibility for it. But we must unite as the people of Azeroth. And then the thing ends. Right? That's the way you do it. You don't.
I don't know, man. I think coming back and just killing Garrosh was good enough for me, dude. I'm good with you, Thrall. You're good with me. Let's move on. I'm not. No need to be a whiny little pissant about the whole thing. It's cool, dude.
All right.
It's cool. You did it. You came back. You killed the guy, for God's sakes. Like, what more do we need from this man?
Yeah.
He has to just put the whole world on his back and apologize every time some guy becomes evil? Screw that.
Yeah, and the idea that he cheated as a shaman at the end, I don't buy with.
He cheated by using his spell that he can cast?
I don't sit with that.
It's not like Garrosh was like, oh, I won't use, execute. Because
yeah, I know. Garrosh was clearly going to use all of his spells.
Yeah, why not?
There's no reason that Thrall suddenly shouldn't be allowed to.
Yeah.
Also, I think we know from some of the other scenes that the shaman powers take some time to build up. You can't just instantly cast your stuff right away. So he had to kind of plan things out, and then he was like, cool, but now I have this thing that just kills you.
Yeah,
so
all of it.
It's built up, and I can use it. Now I got the mana.
Yeah,
we're going to do this.
I will say this one thing I forgot to mention back on the guy with the quest problem. If you are playing a 90, let's say you boost something to 90 aside from your main's 100 and you've done it all, and you really don't want to do all that questing again, you're kind of hosed. You're going to be repeating 1 or 2 dungeons over and over and over if that's how you want to level through that content. And that I don't like. I kind of wish that was different.
Sure.
I know they don't want people to do that, or I assume they don't, because they wouldn't have done it that way otherwise. But all those other dungeons don't open up as normals during the progression of your 10 levels. And because of that, you're stuck with freaking what are the 2? Auchindoun and that doesn't open
Iron
up till
Docks
94 or something, and Iron Docks, and that's it.
Yeah.
So if you're content running those 2 dungeons from 94 to 100, because you don't even get the second one till then, that sucks.
The questing at that point is more fun. So
yeah, I agree.
Okay, hold on a second.
Go ahead.
Zoe makes a good point in the chat room too. Thrall wanted to kill Garrosh right away when they first got him, and the stupid panda comes in like, no, we got to put him on trial. Thrall was ready to just get. I mean,
that's a good point. I forgot.
Thrall's not. You should not hold Thrall responsible.
He came in though, and Varian freaking Scarface
he was about to smash his
ran.
head in with his hammer right then and there. He was like, "This is it."
But didn't Varian block it? He blocked it.
Yeah, I think it was Varian.
Oh, it was Varian. Okay. Yeah.
So
But I know
Varian,
the Pandaria guy was like, no, we got to hold him here because he crimes against our land and stuff.
yeah, it's basically what, and the book gets deep into that, the war crimes book. But yeah, it's interesting.
Varian's fault, stupid alliance.
It's interesting because
hey, settle down now.
Hey, you think about that
Thrall's
next time
not
you're
the bad guy here.
Think about that next time you're collecting Garrison resources. Okay, think about that. All right, we have come to the part of the show where I'm very excited about this because we're about to give something away. We got from Blizzard a signed by everyone on the dev team, community team, PR team, everybody involved with World of Warcraft, signed physical copy of Warlords of Draenor or Draenor. Now I'm worried about how I'm pronouncing things.
Pronouncing everything wrong.
I really want someone from the audience to find an instance of in the game the name of Cho'gall being pronounced Cho'gall and sending it to us.
Okay, they'll do that.
Yeah,
busy minions, get on it. That's
easy.
not a problem.
Thank you.
We're gonna give away this copy of the collector's edition right now. Here's some. Let's see. Do I have a little? I should have some music for this. Hold on. Let's do this right here. Yeah, there we go. Little game show music. Our winner was chosen from over 12,000 entrants. I can tell you that the random number chosen by the random number generator was number 810. The 810th person is... Hold on. I lost it. Here it is. It is Troy Mulkey. Mulkey. Troy Mulkey. You are the huge, big winner this week of this, what I believe to be a priceless World of Warcraft heirloom, because where else are you going to get one of these things, especially signed? So congratulations to Troy. We'll have more cool giveaways coming up in the future, but Troy, I'll get a hold of you via email and get you all hooked up, get that shipped out to you. I have it right here, physically here, so I'll ship it to you from my sweaty little hands to yours ASAP. Congratulations, dude. And thanks, Blizzard, for helping us out with that. I think that's it. That's a show. We're done. We've completed our fiduciary duty to make an instance.
Wait, fiduciary?
Yeah, that's a good word. Or do you say
yeah, it involves money.
Yeah, well, usually. No, it means like if you have a fiduciary. Well, let's look it up. Fiduciary.
I thought fiduciary it was like when like when a federal officer is being
fiduciary.
Here's the word.
Fiduciary.
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 It's where
okay, so
wild,
it's just a legal thing.
It's where wild douches are grown. And it says involving trust, especially with regard to relationship between a trustee and a beneficiary. So
who here is the trustee and who's the beneficiary?
They are the beneficiary. We are the trustee. We are the trustee. We have been entrusted to talk about this damn game, and they are benefiting from us doing that.
I hope so.
Gosh darn it, we do.
We do. Patrick, what is you got anything going on you want people to know about before we cut out?
I guess the Phileas Club. It's a show I do on international news and different outlooks from different cultures on world events. And I guess this month it's going to be especially interesting. We're recording at the end of the month with possibly one Randy Deluxe.
Oh,
actually.
fun.
And
that's cool.
A bunch of other people. We might have someone from the Middle East. I really want to do that, and someone from Australia. A bunch of people, and we'll discuss the events of the month, including the Paris attacks.
Yeah.
So that if you're interested in that, you can go find it at FrenchSpin.com, and you can also follow me at NotPatrick on Twitter.
Yeah, you can also find the Phillies Club on iTunes and wherever you get your podcasts.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, that's all on there. So check that out.
Should be on Stitcher very soon.
Yeah. Stitcher's weird, but yeah. All my stuff's on Stitcher, but it's so
they called me. They wanted to get my shows because they're, they just got bought by a French company. Anyway,
they did?
Never mind.
Weird. I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah,
well, that's fine.
They're based in San Francisco.
Are they? They
have like an office down there with a whole studio in it and everything. I've been over there.
Well,
cool.
It starts with a startup about music, and then slowly we buy the entirety.
And then the French come in and acquire you.
It's like everything. Americans make it, someone buys it, and they're not from here. It's weird. Dills, what's going on? Anything of note?
Let's see. Oh, Monday I will be so I'm part of the Hearthstats.net Hearthstone League, and on Monday I'll be playing the first day of the league play. It's all going to be like done within a 5-day, because there was what they call the grinder league, and then if you do well in that, you move up to the next thing. So I'm at the next stage, and I'm going to have a match on stream on the Hearthstats Twitch channel against a pro player, Tice. So that'll be interesting. We'll see how I do.
Yeah.
He's a very good player. So I'm not. I'm a filthy casual. So we'll see what we can do. Do our best. But if people want to watch me play hard, it'll be casted and all that kind of stuff. So check out the Hearthstats Twitch page. I believe it's just like twitch.tv/Hearthstats.
Nice.
And it'll all be up on there. And I'll be probably streaming a lot of Hearthstone this weekend to kind of prepare for that, figure out what decks I'm going to play and all that stuff. So.
Very cool. Well, good luck with that. Hope you win. For you,
I probably won't.
You find listeners at home. I will be streaming some Warcraft tonight, it looks like, with Scott Kurtz and Steve Hammaker. We're going to just do some stuff. So if you want to check that out, just follow me on Twitter at Scott Johnson. You can find the show at Instance Show. You can find Dills at Willie Dills, Terpster at _T, and Patrick at Not Patrick. You can also find the show at theinstance.net. Our theme was created by Matthew Oxley. Big thanks to our intern Paul Swickard. Takes care of the website. You can find more great shows just like this at frogpants.com. That's going to do it for us, for me, for Patrick, and for Dills, and for Terpster and his little baby. We'll see you next time.
Thrall, boys.
Bye.
Thrall.
Bye.
That's amazing. Thrall. That's amazing. That made for some really funny conversation.
Gotta run, guys.
All right, have fun. Have a great weekend, dude.
Hugs.
Bye. Oh, French kiss. Oh, hello. That was loud. Thanks, everybody, for being here. We'll see you soon. Have a good one.